Hey friends, welcome back to Country Doctor Housecalls. I actually missed you. Haven't put out an episode in about 2 weeks, and that's on me. To be honest, life got pretty full, clinic got busy, but I am here now. And today's topic fits that gap perfectly because the longer you wait to do something, the heavier it starts to feel. You start building a story in your head about what it means that you stopped. And before long, you're just dealing with a task. You're dealing with fear around that task. So I want to talk about change. There's a little book that was recommended to me several weeks ago, and in all honesty, it's been very helpful. You may have heard of it, called Who Moved My Cheese? In all honesty, it's a short, simple, almost like a parable type story. And because it is simple, it slides past your defenses. The basic idea is this: you are in a maze. You find cheese, life is good, then one day you show up and the cheese is gone. Some characters panic, some deny, some get angry, some eventually move and find new cheese. It's not complicated, but man, it is so accurate and describes how we act so reasonably well. Today, I want to take that simple story and lay it over real life, changing jobs, doctors, moving towns, losing routines, gaining new responsibilities. And I want to talk about what change does in your brain and your body, why it scares us, and how to respond without it becoming bitter or frozen. And because this is Housecalls, we're going to keep it front porch personal, and we're not going to leave the science out of it either. So let's start with the part nobody likes to admit. Most of us do not love stability because stability is morally superior. We love stability because stability feels safe. Same route to work, same grocery store, same people, same doctor, same church seat, same way of doing things in the clinic, same schedule. And listen, there is nothing wrong with liking predictability. Predictability conserves energy, reduces your decision fatigue, and lowers your stress. We know that. Your nervous system is always scanning for danger. That's not poetry, that's just biology. Deep in the brain, you have a threat detection system that runs underneath conscious thought. When something is familiar, your brain labels it as low threat. When something is unfamiliar, your brain keeps the warning lights on until it gets enough information to relax. So when your cheese disappears, metaphorically, the first thing that happens is not philosophical. It's actually physiological. Your heart rate goes up, your muscle gets tighter, sleep becomes off, irritability goes up, appetite changes, brain gets louder. That's the fight or flight system. You've all heard of it, and it's doing exactly what it was designed to do. But the problem is most modern change is not a bear in the bushes. It's an email, it's a conversation, it's a decision, it's a move to a new town, a job shift, a diagnosis, just a new season in life. Your nervous system does not care if the threat is physical or social, it just reacts. You ever felt your stomach drop because your boss walked in and said, "Can we talk for a second?" Or your doctor said, "We need to run a few more tests." Or maybe your spouse said, "We need to talk about something." I know that when my wife says, "We need to talk about something," and then says, "But we can't talk right now," I feel it. And that certainly triggers threat circuits. Threat circuits push you toward control, avoidance, or anger. And that is why change makes good people act weird. So back to the cheese story for a second. This book gives you different personalities in the maze, and you can see yourself in them. Some people immediately start running around looking for new cheese. Some just sit down and sulk. Some pretend the cheese will come back. And some people stand at the empty cheese station and give speeches about how unfair it is. In real life, and I see these patterns all day. Response 1 is denial. This is the person who says, "It's fine. Nothing is changing." They keep doing what they've always done. They ignore the signs. They avoid the hard conversation. Response 2, you see this a lot, is anger. This is the person who says, "How could they do this to me?" They rage at the system, the boss, the hospital, the town, the family, the politics, whoever, school board, insurance company, their doctor, their spouse. They're just mad if the cheese is gone. Response 3 is fear and freeze. This is the person who says, "I do not know what to do." They get stuck, they ruminate, they overthink, they wait for perfect clarity before they take even just one step. Response 4 is adaptation. This is the person who says, "This is happening, I don't like it, but I am going to move." Most of us rotate through all 4 and sometimes in the same day. So if you've are listening and you're thinking, I've been the angry one or I've been the frozen one, well, welcome to being alive. The goal is not to feel no emotion. The goal is not to let the emotion become the driver. So let's get practical. Let's use the example. Changing jobs is one of the most common life changes that activates fear. Even if it is good change, it's still change. Think about the paycheck, the schedule, your commute, new coworkers, expectations, fear of... I talk to patients every month who are stuck in a job they hate, not because they love it, but because they know it. And that's the key distinction. They're not choosing the job, they're choosing familiarity. The brain would rather live with a known struggle than an unknown possibility. That's loss aversion. You can offer someone a potential improvement and they still will cling to the current situation because the potential loss looms larger. That is why you can be miserable and still afraid to move. But here's a simple question I've asked people, including myself. Is the pain you have now the pain you want to keep paying? Because either way you pay. You pay with discomfort in staying or you pay with discomfort in moving. The difference is the one discomfort is sterile and repetitive, and the other discomfort is typically productive and directional. Let's get a little more scientific about it. When change hits, the body can respond like you're under threat. Cortisol levels can rise, sleep can get lighter and more fragmented, you headaches, GI symptoms, tight chest feelings, muscle tension. Your tolerance for noise and conflict just drop. Your patience with your kids can thin out. Your motivation can dip. If you already have anxiety or depression tendencies, change can amplify them. This is why major transitions, people often get more infections, flare-ups of chronic conditions, IBS, migraines, blood pressure changes. Not always, but often. Stress is not just a feeling, it's a physiological state. And here's the part that I just want people to understand. Your body does not need you to eliminate all stress. Did you hear that? Your body doesn't need you to do that. Your body just needs you to recover. Stress followed by recovery builds resilience. Stress without it breaks you down. So if you're in a season of change, you have to intentionally schedule recovery. Sleep, hydration, movement, sunlight, prayer, quiet, being outside, conversation with a friend, less doom scrolling. None of it's fancy, but it is effective. The fear of change is what you usually see really speaks in predictable phrases. The what ifs. What if I regret it? What if I fail? What if I look stupid? What if I cannot handle it? What if ruins everything? A lot of people think that courage is really an absence of fear. It is not. Courage is being afraid and moving anyways. Look, as a follower of Jesus, I have to say this too. Some seasons of change are not random. Some are just refining. Not every closed door is punishment. Sometimes it is protection or redirection. Sometimes it is God being kind in a way you cannot recognize until later. That does not mean you have to pretend it doesn't hurt. It just means you do not let fear become your theology. So let's get back to the cheese book. What does it get right and what does it leave out? It does get something right. It tells you that the world changes, and if you refuse to move, you will starve in the old spot. It gets another thing right. Sometimes the cheese is not coming back. The job is not coming back. The relationship is not going to return. The old version of the life that you were running is not returning. You can grieve there, but you cannot live there. What the book leaves out, though, is an emotional reality. It is easy to say, move on. It is harder when moving on means letting go of a dream you carried for 10 years. So let me add the part the book does not emphasize enough. Grief is a part of change. If you have lost a season, a routine, a role, or a person in your life, you may need to name that loss before you can move. You cannot outrun grief. Oh, you have to just walk through it. Do the hard work of grieving. So what do you do when your cheese disappears, though? Here are a few practical steps that I feel like actually work. Step one, name what changed specifically. Not everything is falling apart. Just say it out loud. My job is changing. My schedule is changing. My town, a relationship is changing. My health is changing. Clarity lowers panic. Identify what you can control today, not next year, but today. A phone call, updating your resume, a budget check, a doctor appointment, a walk, a conversation, maybe just prayer. Don't make permanent decisions in acute emotion. In medicine, we say, don't make big life decisions when your nervous system's on fire. Give yourself time to come down off that. Find one trustworthy person and tell the truth. Fear thrives in isolation. Courage grows in connection. Move in small steps, not giant leaps. Small steps rebuild confidence. Your brain needs evidence that you can move and survive. All right. I want to end this the way I usually do, with something normal. I'm not going to make up some dramatic story to land the plane. I'm just going to talk about a change I noticed in my own life that is real, and it ties straight into this whole cheese idea. Right? I have this podcast, you're listening to it. I built it around the front porch style, body, brain, soul, real medicine mixed with some real life. At most of the time, I'm pretty disciplined. I can run a busy clinic, chase kids around, keep the wheels turning. Definitely can push through when I'm tired. But even when I had a 2-week gap, and that is the point, I'm not immune to the same fear everybody else feels. Sometimes the change is not some huge earthquake. Sometimes it's small, just like breaking a rhythm. I miss a week, then it's 2, then it starts feeling heavier. Now I feel behind. The standard in my head just gets louder. I start thinking, if I come back, that it better be perfect. And if it's not perfect, maybe I should just stay quiet. Maybe I don't have the time. That's the tiny version of the cheese being gone. It's not catastrophic. It's not dramatic. It's just enough to trigger a common tendency to freeze. And the way that I handle this is the same way I have to handle bigger change. Just show up. I don't have to be flawless. I just have to be faithful. There's more out there than the little pile I got used to. There are more good conversations to have, more patience to help, more truth to tell, more time to be present with my kids, and more seasons to grow. So if change hits your life lately and you feel that fear, do not shame yourself for it. Name it, breathe, pray, take the next step. And if you're sitting there waiting on old cheese to come back, just consider this. Maybe it's gone because you're meant to move. If this episode helped you, share it with somebody who is in a season of transition. And I will see you next time on Country Doctor House Calls. Hopefully, not going to be 2 more weeks.